live here the Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. Smooth timing. I am your host, Devin Poslusny, along with Mr. Dave Poslusny here, along with us again. So tonight we're going to talk about Supercross in Minneapolis. Kind of moved over a little bit here. Formula 1 in China, NASCAR, and then this prize here, Dave. So Formula 1, Supercross in Minneapolis. Can't even say it.
At least you spelled it right.
Yeah. Hey.
At least if you did.
Well, it happened. Ryan Villapoto was dethroned. Let's just say duh. Here's the results. Ryan Dungey, another Ryan, won. Ryan Villapoto second. David Millsap's third. Fourth, Justin Barcia and Chad Reed rounds up the top five. Formula 1 in China. Alonso wins the China Grand Prix. Here's your results. Jenson Button finished 5th. Sebastian Vettel 4th. Lewis Hamilton 3rd. Kimi Räikkönen 2nd. And Fernando Alonso, I just said, 1.
Hey, as you know, I don't get the Formula 1 race, so I don't get to see it. What were they talking about with the tires? I saw something on the Racer. I get an email every day from Racer with updates.
I believe they were talking about the tires there's different types. There's like a harder compound that is slower, but it will give you kind of more grip, or it'll last longer. But there's also a softer compound that's faster, but it'll tread more.
Right. Yeah. I've been reading about it actually in Racer magazine that they're trying to make the tire basically self-destruct, but like timed, so that they have to pit and they can't use pit strategy and whatnot. They're trying to cut back on pit strategy. It just sounds like an odd thing to do to me, because like NASCAR's loaded with it. If it wasn't for pit strategy, some of these guys would never even win.
Yeah.
The teams are the ones that do it for them.
Exactly. So
I just wanted to ask that, just see if you had any idea, because I got to read up on it.
Yeah, I have no idea. So, NASCAR, excuse me, jeez. All 3 series was racing this weekend. It went Nationwide, Cup, and then Trucks today.
Triple K weekend.
Triple K weekend. So we'll start with the Nationwide series since they were on Friday night. Finishing 5th was Kevin Harvick. 4th, Dale Earnhardt Jr., one of those drivers that you don't really see often in the Nationwide series. Austin Dillon in the number... Well, yeah. Austin Dillon in the number 3, finished 3rd. How convenient. Brad Keselowski in the number 2 in the Cup Series, finished 2nd in the Nationwide Series. Weird.
I bet you, he would have preferred one instead of his own number. This kid's everywhere, too. He's starting to drive me nuts.
Logano?
Yeah, he's in all of them. I was about to knock him and say that he seems to be very successful on the lower series, but just doesn't seem to cut it. But this year, there's a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah.
You're a Logano fan, right?
Yes, I know. Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch won that race, and then over to the Cup Series, Kyle Busch won that race. Don't worry, your laptops are not repeating themselves. I did say Kyle Busch won the race twice. He won in the Nationwide Series and Cup Series. Martin Truex Jr. 2nd in the Cup. Carl Edwards 3rd. Greg Biffle 4th. And Joey Logano 5th. Man, I am having a hard time talking tonight. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series raced in the Rockingham Speedway. Seriously. The Rock. Today, it was a weird week for a Sunday race for the trucks. Chase Elliott finished 5th, Johnny Sauter 4th, Brendan Gaughan 3rd, Joey Logano 2nd, and Kyle Larson 1.
Oh, I was so hoping that Joey wasn't going to catch him, though. It really did look like he was going to catch him in the end.
Yeah.
And on that last, right out of turn 4, I'm just going, no! Because, it's the kid's first win. And it's good to see.
Well, it's better to have 4 tires on the ground than none in the ground, on the ground.
I also would have liked to have seen Sauter do it, because that would have been a first time where nobody's ever done that in any series.
Well, it was funny. I was telling my dad, I'm like, if he wins, I'm going with what you're saying. He's like, what? I'm like, conspiracies, man. So now to this guy. Sadly. I mean, no. Dave Poslesny. Bring him in. Not going to say hi or anything?
Hi. I've been here.
Well, usually you would
I
say...
waved.
Usually... Oh, well, sorry. So NASCAR...
In the beginning.
Sorry. NASCAR thoughts. So what do you... You said you didn't...
Unfortunately, yeah, as I told you, it was a busy weekend for me. I don't like it when they do night races. I love night races, don't get me wrong, but I don't like it because it's actually easier for me to DVR and watch it the next morning. Because as you know, I work nights. So
yeah.
It makes it, on a busy night, it makes it real difficult to get to watch it. I did re-watch today parts of it, so I did see quite a bit. And a good race. Kyle had that thing though locked up, I thought, either way, caution or not. But once I saw the caution, I said, oh, it's game over. Because Kyle was just, he's like almost unbeatable with restarts. Kind of makes you wonder too. I was thinking about it on the way over here. What makes a restart really good? Like what makes you a good restarter? Because Kyle is a killer restarter. And when you see him starting side by side with somebody, generally he's going to come out of it with the lead.
I think that you would, for a killer restart, as you just said, you have to wait till you're in the restart zone, start box. If you're not the leader, you have to kind of check up a little bit and kind of stay in line with the leader, and then as soon as you get the line, punch it. So this way you don't beat them to the line. If you are the leader, when you get to that box, pretty much put your foot to the floor, but not because you'll spin the tires.
Well, you also have to remember that you got to shift too.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something within the shifting that gets him to pull out quicker. Maybe he goes longer in a gear or something to that. I can't really see how, because I think they generally all redline it every time. They have a limiter. You know, as soon as that limiter hits, they shift. So it just makes me wonder, like, what makes him special when it comes to restarting? It's like Ryan Newman, you know, with the poles.
Yeah.
The guy just used to, he doesn't really anymore, but he just always get the pole. What was it? He had a nickname for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, even Darrell Waltrip said it beforehand. He's like, well, I don't know, because now you got Kyle right next to him, and Kyle's real good at the restart. And boom, took it, gone. But of course, as you know, I'm glad to see it. Isn't hurting me any.
Well, in the points championship, it kind of did, but
so tend not to bet on my own driver.
So
drivers.
There is your Dave's notes, because he didn't really bring any this week.
Nope.
So we'll use those as your notes. So now the points championship. Here was the picks for this week. He had Junior, Edwards, the Kenseth, Busch, Kyle Busch, and Jimmy Johnson. Jeez, where's the scorecards? I had Johnson, Kenseth, Busch, Kyle Busch, and Carl Edwards, and Dale Jr. So pretty much the same drivers, just rearranged. And this is how it turned out. You got, Dave, 2, 4, 8, 14 points. And I got 6 and 10, 16 points. Yeah. I just
so
beat
that's
him.
what, 2 weeks in a row for you?
Hold on. Yes, it is 2 weeks in a row. So I won Martinsville last week and Texas this week. You have officially become the first person in the championship to break 100 points.
It's getting close though.
Yeah, it is.
You might have a better season this year.
Yeah, well.
And at least you have the chance because it's a full season
Yeah.
instead of...
So, yep, it's fun. Yeah. So I think I've decided what we're going to do for the All-Star race. It's going to be if you win the race, you get to keep your points, but if you lose, you don't get any. So like, let's say that you and I pick
Okay, no effect to the previous points.
No, well, I was thinking if you were to win, you would get those points added, but if you were to lose, you would get no points added. So let's say that I won by 12 points, you would still stay at 112, I would go to 90.
But you only get the 12?
Yeah,
you only get what you won by.
Yeah. Does that kind of make sense? For the All-Star race only.
Makes sense to me.
Alright, so that's, I think, what we'll do. So
When is that anyway? It's a while.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4 races away. So 4 weeks or something.
Yeah, I still got a while till we're here.
Yeah. So I'll be coming home from California that day. You'll be in Florida. Yeah.
Yay! Oh, I love Florida. Don't get me wrong. I don't love 60 hours in a minivan.
So
sorry, Dad.
sorry, Dad. So I believe next week, the weekend roundup. Yes, next Sunday we might be doing it from different places through Skype.
Yeah, we figured all that out the other day. I'm not sure I can handle this, and it looks funny.
Alright, so that's the championship right there. So when we return, we're gonna do some F1 safety things, because I heard that you saw a show today about F1 safety stuff.
Yeah, how many fatalities there actually were back in the day when my dad was, or your grandfather was actually working turn 11 timing and scoring in Watkins Glen. We grew up there. Roy doesn't remember a lot of it because he was pretty young, but I had no idea how many guys lost their lives while we were there. I guess I was just too young to understand it or whatever, but wow. Watching the show, I was just dying. And it was graphic. I mean, you actually saw the whole kit and caboodle. It was, it's actually upsetting to think about. One of the drivers actually burnt up.
Well,
right there on video.
Save it for after the commercial, but that's a little preview. So when we return, we'll talk about that.
We have been given a drive-through penalty for causing a collision. Okay, Lewis, we have a drive-through penalty. We must take it this lap.
I say goodbye to my weakness so long.
You're finishing ahead of Alonso, Hamilton and Webber today. It's a good day.
But I want to win. Pace is good, Lewis, pace is good, but we must complete this lap.
Welcome back live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. Well, there you see your little F1 video. Now, before we move on, we wanted to give you our picks. Totally forgot to do this. So here we go. Okay. So 5th place for me is Martin Truex Jr.
And I'm not really sure who's going to be in the 55 next week, but I'm going to go with the 55 car, whether it's Brian Vickers or Mark Martin.
5th place. We're starting with.
Oh. Now you already know who I expect to win.
So
5th place,
5th place.
Jimmy Johnson.
4th place is Carl Edwards.
4th place, I got Matt Kenseth.
3rd place, I got 2%. I mean, 29.
That's kind of not right, because then I can know what you meant. 3rd place, I got Greg Bethel.
2nd place, I got 48. That's how I wrote it, if you can see that. It looked like almost like 2%. That's why I said that.
Did you do 2nd place yet?
Yeah, I just said Jimmy Johnson.
2nd place, I got Carl Edwards.
My first is Clint Boyer. Praying for him.
And you already know my first. I'm going for the 55 car regardless of the driver.
So there you go. That's our picks, and I make sure not to lose this paper. I had to go back to the show last week and listen to what we were saying.
Did you really?
Yeah, I lost the paper. Good times. Alright, so before we get to this, talk about F1 safety and that type of stuff. In that video, we saw a driver launch and then almost lose the steering wheel.
As if he was holding it in his hand, so it wasn't where it belonged.
So, a lot of things. That was a good video, and I thank YouTube and the person who put that out there.
A good song, too.
Yeah. So, well.
Technical difficulties.
Safety.
Who put the studio together? You have to talk to those guys.
Guess I'll have to talk to myself. Talk about the F1 safety thing. We can wait to do this.
What your father told you I was watching
Yeah.
today? It's pretty brutal. There's really old school stuff that goes way back, but myself and his dad, my brother, grew up at racetracks for the old Formula One, Watkins Glen. I believe we went to Pocono a few times. A lot of times a year. My dad actually worked timing and scoring in turn 11. I don't even remember any of that, but some of it was so brutal. The safety just was like, the safety just didn't exist. I mean, right off the side of bridges.
Right off the side of
Yeah, there was 2 different incidents. They actually had the full, it was kind of graphic. They had the full, it's called the velocity channel, by the way. I don't know if you get it, but I found it, and it's way up on my numbers.
Yeah,
it's like 380 or something like that.
No, if I get that.
They're airing a lot of pretty crazy stuff, and it's totally uncut and real. There was one scene where a driver had wrecked, and I guess back in the day they didn't have the safe, fuel cells and whatnot.
Oh,
so the car just burst into flames. I mean, it was horrible. And the guy strapped in it, and it's rolled over. He can't get out, and another driver comes along and stops. I mean, these things really happen. Stops, runs out to his car. There's no safety people. There's nobody getting there with fire extinguishers and anything like that. This guy's trying to roll over the car. Well, the guy is literally in the car burning. And he did. He died. It was fatal. It was 2 of them that they actually showed the entire footage of. And it was just like, wow. One of them happened to be at Watkins Glen. Chances that I was there, very strong. But I guess my dad kind of, put it on the down low, so we really didn't know what happened, but because it didn't happen in front of us. But yeah, the safety back then was just horrible, and they have come so far. And look at the safety in the video you just watched. It's just incredible.
Trying to Watkins Glen here. Handed in a little notebook. No, that's a Blue's Clues reference.
That only covers NASCAR, right?
Yeah.
And they don't even use I call it the head of the duck. You know why I call it that?
No.
Turn it over. It looks like a duck. I've been saying that to tell little kid, Watkins Glen looks like a duck. And they don't use the entire head and neck. NASCAR only uses the...
Well, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Battery died on the camera. I told you yesterday in race day we were having issues with that camera. We're working on getting a new one. We should have one by All-Star break. So, finish out the show here. Here's your final lap here. There is IndyCar at Long Beach next week. Formula 1 racing at the Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix. No Nationwide Series race. Sprint Cup Series is at... Where are we at next week? Kansas.
Kansas, yeah, we were just talking about that.
We're at Kansas at 12:30 Eastern on Sunday. Check your local listings. Trackside, we have Racing Hotspot Trackside, race day, and weekend roundup. Not sure where we are going to be next week. Well, NASCAR is going to be there, but not sure where we are going to be. He may be just at his house on Skype, and I may be in New York recording that way. So I guess we'll find out. But,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll keep you in touch there. So when we will see each other, when we see each other, yeah, have a good work week, good school week for those of you who actually do go to school. Goodbye.
For those of you that actually do go to work. Take care.
Little girl, you like it loud. Come alive in the middle of a crowd. You wanna scream, you wanna shout. Get excited when the lights go down at the rock show. You'll be